we must condemn some certain behaviors. You cannot rant up in a court of competent jurisdiction. I take exception to it. People might say it's good. I mean, Justice Omotosho is just a messenger of the court. And he did his job. If you are displeased, you go to appellate court. It's not to start insulting the man.
Senator, now that Nnamdi Kanu has been sentenced to life imprisonment, how do you assess the verdict of the court? Legally, politically, and morally?
Well, Shaw, I want to use two theories, like I told you before in this show, that I wouldn't like to talk about those issues, but I want to use two theories that are profounded by two Nigerians just in the last 48 hours. One was Bianca Ojukwu, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu. Secondly, was that theory of mascot Uzor Kalu, who happens to be my younger brother. Their theories are perfect. It's not time for noise making. It's not time for fighting. It's a time for reflecting, sober reflection, as if I may say that. If I want to take you to memory lane, mind you, we advise few of us, James Ibori, few of us advise President Yaradua, Saraki, and President Yaradua agreed to go to amnesty in Niger Delta. Let me tell you, when we focus solely on Nnamdi Kalu, we have to solve this problem holistically, because there are over 30,000 Igbos that were killed. People that have their shop had no shops. People lost their businesses. I used to sell my products in manufactured products, our own manufactured products in Abia, in Aba. I know what the numbers were, and the people are just talking about soldiers killed and not the rest of them. There are many people that lost their jobs. There are many people that lost their shops. There are over 30-something thousand Igbos that were killed in this process, and nobody talks about them. The problem of Nnamdi Kanu is what we need to solve. Political process. Not so longer like Bianca Ojukwu and mascot Uzor Kalu profounded. I saw in the news that they should stop the noise. They should focus on the settlement with the federal government. Let me tell you, I have been working with the federal government of Nigeria on how to solve this issue, and nobody should question the decision of Justice Omotosho, because Justice Omotosho's question is the judgment of the court. What the court says, what we should start looking now, the Kanu people are going to appellate court, and we are using the political sides to solve the problem, because this is the area I know. I'll be contacting the Attorney General to advise the President, to advise people who are concerned on how we solve this problem. If you want, I can take you to memory lane. If I want to take you to memory lane, when I wanted to join the APC in 2016, may he so rest in peace, President Buhari, with his Minister of Justice and with the Director of SSS, they found a way and supported, because I told them I won't join the party if Nnamdi Kanu is not released on bail to face trial. If I cannot tell you, but if you say you ask people to keep people, you must face trial. But I wanted him to be in his house, and even they were to release him to my house. I told them no. Where I live is sensitive. Release him to Umaya. We walked. Alhaji Lawan Daura is alive. And my names, Malami is alive. They all helped to make sure that he was released on bail. I can't go further. I know the pressure. May he so rest in peace. I know the pressure I personally put on President Buhari before he was released in April 2017. If people, other Igbos died, nobody's even talking about Igbos that were killed. Nobody is talking about people that own shops that are no longer working. I have my mother's friend that have a rice shop. They the woman who owe my mother about 4.2 million naira. They ransacked the whole shops and the woman went bankrupt. And nobody talks about it.
Or the police officers that were killed.
Oh, no, I'm not, because they were mentioned in the court. The court never mentioned 30,000 something Igbos that were killed. The court never mentioned about people that lost their business and run away from their villages. It's not something, I don't let me to go emotional here. Because it's not something anybody can discuss. A lot of Igbos were killed, Sean. A lot of Igbos were killed. If you don't know it today. Let Igbos stop being emotional. I want us to settle down and go on our knees and find a way that the man can be released. It's part of my job to do it.
Is it possible that Nnamdi Kanu can take responsibility of the course of action or whatever happened?
Well, I don't know. I'm not him. I know my discussion. I promised President Buhari. I know my discussion with me and Nnamdi Kanu. I was the first that saw him in 2016. I was the first that saw him when he came from Kenya. I know my discussion with him. The DSS are there. They had my discussion with him. Remember, I own the Sun newspaper. On 4 occasions, President Buhari wanted to prescribe Sun newspaper, that the only newspaper that are supporting Nnamdi Kanu. And the other is not owned by Igbos. But I told the journalists that work in Sun newspaper that Sun is a public trust. Write what you see. Because the federal government then wanted Sun to stop putting Nnamdi Kanu on the front page of the paper. I'm not for against anybody. I'm for true free press for anybody. The press must be free. Without Louis Audio is your colleague. When he left at the Sun editor for 5 years, he wrote at the back of the Nation, where he went to be editor of one of the title of the Nation newspaper, that Ojikal is the best publisher I have seen. I never asked him to subtract. If you ask Femi Adesina, he will tell you the same thing. If you ask Eric Osage, Tony Oyima, all the people, may his own recipes, they will tell you. I have never interfered on the newspaper.
Give me a moment, Senator, because we need to take another break. I'll be right back, everyone. Everyone, we are totally out of time. Very emotional question about Nnamdi Kanu, but we just have 30 seconds that we need to close. Senator, politically speaking, is there a solution to Nnamdi Kanu? Legally, there seems to be. They say there will be an appeal.
Yes, once they are appealing, and I've told you we will appeal to the federal government of Nigeria. This is where we'll interfere.
Politically speaking,
we will appeal to the Attorney General while they are going to the appellate court in the court, which is what is supposed to be. So you should remember, I was given 12 years here. I never insulted the judge. I saw the judge in the National Assembly the other day. He came to be confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. I embraced him and gave him all court seats.
You're referencing what happened with Nnamdi Kanu.
Because I know we must condemn some certain behaviors. You cannot rant up in a court of competent jurisdiction. I take exception to it. People might say it's good. Justice Omotosho is just a messenger of the court. And he did his job. If you are displeased, you go to appellate court. It's not to start insulting the man.
Senator, we're totally out of time. Thank you so much. Senator Uzor Kalu, thanks so much indeed for your time tonight.